The most worrying part of this is that there's going to be one test from all the exam boards, but all of the exams will be done at different times throughout the country. Let that sink in. So summer exams are not cancelled, they are cut to mini exams. I'm a bit worried for private candidates because clearly these teacher marked AS modular exams are not really what we expected. And if I don't have a teacher to mark them because they're not being sent to an examiner, they're just being sent to a teacher, that's an issue. And if they're going to all be sat at different times in the country, the same paper, clearly Twitter loves going off, Reddit loves sharing answers, so there's going to be no way for them to have no cheating. First of all, who will mark them because they're not paying examiners? And second of all, is that enough? Because all the year 13s will have their class tests for every single topic. So, Gavin, I'm still not happy with this, and I really hope they don't just pull an autumn exams on us. Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we have an update from Gavin and his friends. This was actually leaked on Sunday, but I didn't see it because I was too busy praying. Anyway, this government love to leak things to the newspapers before they actually announce them, but leaked to the Times on Sunday at 12 o'clock in the morning that pupils will be sitting mini summer exams, and those exams will be marked by the teachers. So AQA, OCR, all of these examining boards will be making a paper, a mini paper, and they'll be sending them to the schools. Then everyone will be sat in the hall as any other exam, and then everyone will do the exam. And then the teachers will be marking them instead of like an actual examiner. So when Gavin was saying that the exams are cancelled, he meant the examiners are cancelled, meaning all the examiners won't be paid. So this economic decision is clearly just that, like instead of having 3 exams that are 2 hours long, we'll have however many short mini exams. Instead of your exam being anonymously marked by an examiner who is paid, they are going to make your teacher mark it and not pay them any different. This is basically what AS exams were, where it's like instead of having all of pure maths, you'd have C1, the first part of maths, C2, C3, C4, and they'd all be sat separately. That's what it was for how many thousands of years until Michael Gove came in and changed it to linear A-level, where you had to be tested on literally everything at once. So thanks for that, Gove. All of these conservatives just doing whatever they want. My year was the first year to sit the GCSEs, like 9 to 1 with everything different. And this year it's them reverting back to A-level, AS levels where it was a smaller exam. So they say these exams will be in summer, the end of the school year, as A-levels would have been. The most worrying part of this is that there's going to be one test from all the exam boards, but all of the exams will be done at different times throughout the country. Let that sink in. The teachers will be marking it, no examiners will be marking it, everything will not be anonymous, and they're basically ASs, like modular exams. Okay. So the teacher assessment will be from this. So I guess the assessment is the exam board's exam. So summer exams are not cancelled, they are cut to mini exams. So alongside the exams from the examining boards, there's going to be the internal teacher assessment, which is including all the mocks from school, etc. They will have to be submitted as a portfolio. This will include work from the first day of year 12 to the last day of year 13, to the online learning, so everything will be included. If schools are not open by summer, which is quite sad to think about, but if they're not, then people will be doing these exam board tests at home. People having to sit them in their house is not great for everyone that has like loads of siblings and loads of people that like don't have a computer, so there's a lot of problems with. So once everyone sits them in the hall, they'll be marked by the teachers like it's any other test, and then a few will be selected to be moderated. So that's what they do with EP. They're all marked by a teacher, but then they're like a select few from each grade are chosen to see if they're at the same standard which they always are. So that's quite interesting because the teachers choose which paper and which person is sent to be moderated. So in Wales, this is where the innovation is. The Education Minister for Wales, Gavin Williamson, was saying that some exams can be taken online for Welsh students at home. They want to do some that are like just marked automatically on the computer, which is good, I guess. The University of Buckingham was saying how it's very easy to cheat on online tests. UCAT and things like that are done online, so they can find a way to make online proctoring and pay the examiners that they didn't want to pay. But anyway, and then towards the end of the article, the teachers are saying that they don't want the term teacher assessed grades to be used because they're already getting like really bad messages and stuff from parents who are like, don't give my child a bad grade, you're the one assessing them. And they think that their students will complain to them if they're too strict. And then to end on a positive note, the Good Law Project said hundreds of thousands of children still do not have the government promised laptops and routers, which is so upsetting. And because can you imagine, like, it's just so sad, like there's no accessibility. They are promised computers and internet, but they have not had it for absolutely months. So there's so many students who would have been able to do well, but because of Gavin Williamson, they still don't have a laptop, they still don't have a computer, they still don't have internet in the house, which is completely unacceptable. Like, think of all the big families that only have one computer or like one phone to do online lessons. Like, it's so. And then the article finishes with Ofqual will be doing a consultation this week, which is where everyone needs to tell them what they think and say, you know, these ASs are not really the thing. And I'm a bit worried for private candidates because clearly these teacher marked AS modular exams are not really what we expected. And if I don't have a teacher to mark them because they're not being sent to an examiner, they're just being sent to a teacher, that's an issue. And if they're going to all be sat at different times in the country, the same paper, clearly Twitter loves going off, Reddit loves sharing answers, so there's going to be no way for them to have no cheating. A few years ago, A-level papers leaked, so if that was when they're meant to be secure, imagine when thousands of schools have done them. And yeah, it's going to be an absolute mess. But also, I don't know if these mini exams will count as enough. So if all the year 13s are having every piece of work they've done from year 12 to year 13 and online lessons being counted as a portfolio, then if the private candidates who are resitting or homeschooled, etc., are only allowed to do the mini mocks, the mini exams, then first of all, who will mark them because they're not paying examiners? And second of all, is that enough? Because all the year 13s will have their class tests for every single topic. Gavin, I'm still not happy with this. That's not looking very positive. It's not looking very chef's kiss. But I'm glad to say the petition that I shared in my first video, when I first shared it, it only had 800 signatures and now it's on 8,000. So if you haven't seen that, please sign it. It says that there should be an option of full summer exams. And I really hope that by summer the situation will be a lot better. We'll be able to safely take exams, and I really hope they don't just pull an autumn exams on us, because that is the new academic year. Most private candidates need their results this summer. Leaving it to October is just not good enough, honestly. So I'm glad to hear that, you know, they haven't completely ruled out exams, but this alternative as modular exams I don't think is the best way. And I'm really just hoping that, you know, they can do this for all the year 13s, whatever, but then they have full optional exams for all the resit students who need them and want them. And yeah, I've had loads of people messaging me like, who would have thought I would have wanted an exam this bad? But it just shows how education is really important, and, you know, it's like a right and da-da-da-da, so, and it's a right and all of that. So yeah, it's really understandable how painful it is. It was also revealed that Gavin Williamson rejected BT offering free internet for all students, which is absolutely horrid to hear. This is what Jeremy Corbyn was planning to give, and everyone made it out like it was some socialist crazy deal, but now it was literally offered to him on a plate and he rejected it. and now hundreds of thousands of students still do not have internet and can't access their lessons and don't have a laptop. So honestly, it is just so sad to see, but yeah, I think it's terrible that they're making the teachers mark them because clearly they have bias. And I was reading this teacher who was saying he has a GCSE student who really struggles with math, but they want to be a physicist when they grow up. So they're working at like a grade 4, but they need a grade 6 minimum for the university requirements. And he said if it was up to him, he would mark in a way that, you know, any small mistake would be ignored, and he would just give him more marks because he wants him to do well and he works really hard. Teachers are humans, and like a paper is not a human. It's a very cutthroat thing that is a lot less, which allows less bias. There's so many people that are favoured by teachers, and you know, all of this being marked by teachers is just really lazy from the government. And again, on Twitter, all the examiners are like, well, what now? Like, I'm jobless. So that is really sad. This is where we are. Please, everyone, make sure you sign the petition, link in bio, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!